Welcome back runners, I'm Stelvio and this is a community where you can find running shoes and gear reviews, training plans, races and a lot of running motivation. A big thanks to all of you who is already supporting the channel and is part of this community, contributing with interesting comments. For the others, consider to subscribe, supporting the channel. I would really appreciate it. Hitting the subscribe button here below, you won't miss any video and you will support the channel for free. So let's do it. Today's comparison is between two new models from Adidas, the new ADIOS6 and the SL20 version 2. In this video, to shorten the name, I will refer to the SL20 as the SL20 version 2. We are talking about two neutral shoes, but with some differences starting for instance from the weight. So let's start with some specs. The ADIOS6 is a weight of 9 ounces, 256 grams in the US 10 size in the male version, and 7.8 ounces, 221 grams in the US 9 size for the female version. The SL20 has a weight of 8.7 ounces, 247 grams in the US 10 size for the male version, and 8 ounces, 226 grams in the US 8 sides for the woman version. So basically the SL20 is slightly lighter than the ADIOS6. Midsole now. While the ADIOS6 combines two different foams in the midsole, the Lightstrike Pro and the Lightstrike, the SL20 uses the Lightstrike foam in the entire midsole, and as we know, it is stiffer and more responsive in feel than the Boost foam and all the other foams I'm currently running with. Here regard the harshness of the foam. Here you can find the values, which I measured using the durometer and the 3-point estimates. As you can see, the Lightstrike Pro is the softer one between the foam in the least, and the Lightstrike is the stiffer one. The Lightstrike foam is really snappy, so it gives a nice feeling at a fast pace, but especially at the beginning when the shoe is new. It is really stiff and it doesn't ensure a good comfort, especially for woolens on the heel, because both shoes are using the Lightstrike in the heel. On the other hand, I noticed that after 15 miles, usually the Lightstrike foam start to be more comfortable, and in general, the stiffness of the foam ensure a longer durability, better than the Boost foam, which is softer. The ADIOS6 in the forefoot used the Lightstrike Pro, but unfortunately, due to the thicker sole used in the forefoot, it is less softer than expected. Let's jump now to look the running metrics collected via the HRM Run strap from Garmin. I usually collect this metric in 5 different tests at different paces, written here in the table on the left hand side, and the metrics that I collect are the ground contact time and the vertical oscillation ratio. If the ground contact time is lower and the vertical oscillation is less than 10%, then our running is more efficient. From this data collected, we have observed that the ADIOS6 in general has a longer ground contact time, meaning it is less responsive than the SL20, but with a lower vertical oscillation, so it is less bouncier and more efficient than the SL20, except for the pace indicated here in red of 4 minutes 15 seconds per kilometer, where it seems not performing well. The SL20, on the other hand, is more responsive in all the tests executed, and it is better than the ADIOS6 at the pace of 3 minutes 40 seconds per kilometer, having a shorter contact time and the same vertical oscillation than the ADIOS6. The ADIOS6 has a stack height of 27mm in the heel, 19mm in the forefoot, whereas the SL20 has a stack height of 21mm in the heel, 12.5mm in the forefoot. So basically the new SL20 has a lower profile than the ADIOS6, but with a higher drop of 9mm 9.5mm instead of the 8mm in the ADIOS6. 1.5mm more than the ADIOS6, so it gives more breadth to our calves. Both shoes are not really carved with a pronounced rocker in the forefoot, even though I noticed that in the ADIOS6 we have a little bit more pronounced forefoot, but still both shoes are not supporting as other shoes a rolling motion, reducing ankle flexion and decreasing the energy consumption during running. A little bit better in the ADIOS6 due to the torsion system, which is missing in the SL20. In fact, the ADIOS6 still has a torsion system which is really extended throughout the shoe, which support and speed up the toe off, whereas in the SL20 it has been removed, and therefore I felt the ADIOS more efficient and with the knee to toe transition which better support and propel the foot forward than in the SL20. Great for tempo run, as we have seen from the metrics collected, where it is clear that the ADIOS6 has a lower vertical oscillation ratio than the SL20. Outsole now. In the outsole we have plenty of rubber for both models, and the grip is good due to the continental rubber and to the different patterns and materials used in the shoe, which improve the traction, of course. I found the SL20 more grippy than the ADIOS6, maybe due to the different patterns used. Both shoes apply carving in the rubber, which makes the shoe more flexible. In the ADIOS6 there is more exposed foam, and especially it is the Light Strike Pro, which is softer, so I don't know how long it will last. The different thickness of the outsole in the forefoot makes the ADIOS6 a little bit more rigid in the forefoot. You can even hear it from the sound. Moreover, what I noticed is that patterns used in the ADIOS6 collects a lot of small stones, something which doesn't happen in the SL20. The dimension of the soles are different, especially in the heel, as you can see here. The ADIOS6 has a narrow heel, which is less stable in comparison with the SL20, especially for those who land in the heel, but at the same time it allows to consume less energy each stride. Upper now. Regarding the upper, both new version has a new upper. In the ADIOS6 we have a single layer mesh, which seems to be too loose. It doesn't wrap well the foot, losing a bit of stability, whereas in the SL20 the upper is stronger than in the ADIOS6, wrapping well the foot and without leaving any room, as I like it. Both upper are really breathable, but the upper of the ADIOS6 is super breathable. The tanks are good in both models, but in the ADIOS6 is simply perfect. It has a nice padding in the right quantity in both sides. In the SL20 is thinner with less padding, typical for such kind of shoe. Overall, I prefer the tank of the ADIOS6 because more comfortable than the tank in the SL20. The laces are flat and traditional in both models. It seems that they are identical, only with different levels in the terminals. The lockdown is traditional in the ADIOS6 and narrow than in the SL20. Gives me a feeling of longer durability than in the SL20. It even ensures a better lockdown because it is possible to use a single line of rings, which could fit better with the thinner fit, which is missing in the SL20. The heel counter is similar in both shoes, so I found both comfortable, even though the counter in the SL20 is a bit softer and therefore more comfortable. Both shoes have locked my heel in place without any issue. So the heel doesn't move at all. But then say that the question is for which kind of training I would use the ADIOS6 or the SL20. Well, basically, according to the metrics collected and my impressions, even though the ADIOS6 is not that snappier as I thought, thanks to the torsion system, I would prefer to use it for tempo run, considering the lower vertical oscillation ratio, but also for interval training, of course. The SL20, on the other hand, wants to be a tempo run shoe, and probably it could be used for it, but it doesn't shine like other tempo run shoes. For instance, the Hyperion Tempo or the Evorite ADIDAS2, which review you can find in the link up here, but it seems to perform better than the ADIOS6 for fast runs. So I would use the SL20 for fast workouts like interval trainings and even on the track and field, where it seems to perform better considering the lower ground contact time. Overall, for lighter runners, I believe that both shoes can be used as a daily trainer. So guys, even for this week, this is it. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to leave a like, consider to subscribe. I would really appreciate your support, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so you won't miss any new video. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Ciao!